What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 9 of my favorite 30 hard rock and heavy metal albums of the 70s countdown. We've been doing it all month long here in July 2023, 31 days in the month. My 31 favorite heavy albums, hard and heavy albums of the 70s. Of course, I have limited myself to only 2 albums by any one band to try to make the playing field a little bit wider. Because, of course, if I didn't do that, I'd probably have 5 or 6 bands, and that would be it in the whole countdown, right? Because you got some of the big ones. They've got 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 great albums in the 70s, and that's not so much fun. Got to make the playing field wider, so that's what I've been doing. You guys can feel free to pick whoever you like for the month, but this particular pick for today, pick number 9, it's the debut album by this American band. It was released October 17th, 1973, recorded at Warner Brothers Recording Studios and Sunset Sound Recorders in Hollywood, California, with some additional stuff done elsewhere for overdubs and things like that, produced by the band and Ted Templeman for Warner Brothers Records. Of course, I'm talking about the debut album from Montrose, Ronnie Montrose and Company, one of the great heavy albums of the 70s. And one of the great heavy albums from the U.S. of all time. Of course, Ronnie Montrose on guitars, the young, at the time, Sammy Hagar on lead vocals, Bill Church on bass, and of course the great Denny Carmassi on drums. This is one of those great albums. And unfortunately, another one of those bands where never quite topped that debut, right? But did a bunch of other albums. Yeah, they're pretty good. This is the one. It's like they went and put everything into the debut. Nothing ever quite clicked as well as this. Top to bottom, no bad songs. Just good, basic meat and potatoes, heavy rock. There's a slight bluesy feel coming behind it as well. Not overly excessive when it comes to guitar solos and things like that. Just ballsy, killer vocals, killer riffs, great grooves, really memorable songs. It starts off, of course, with Rock the Nation, one of the great songs of all time. Rock the Nation, and everything on this album is, for the most part, like 3 to 5 minutes long. Nothing's really overly lengthy. Most of the songs are fairly short and compact. I mean, the album itself is barely like half hour long, right? Very similar, we talked about it a couple days ago, that first Van Halen album, of course, also produced by Ted Templeman. There's a similar kind of formula to both albums, and ironically enough, Sammy would sing for Van Halen much later on, but there's a compactness to the songwriting, to the arrangements on both albums, and obviously this one came first, no doubt. Van Halen were influenced by this album, and why not? I would think any American band coming after this would take something from this album, because it was just so revolutionary at the time, because, the American bands weren't doing stuff like this. This was more of a British thing. So anyway, Rock the Nation kicks it off. Great riffing from Ronnie throughout the whole album. Tasty solos. Does not go overboard at all. This is more of kind of like a riffy album. Then you got Bad Motor Scooter. Absolutely terrific, right? Grooves, boogies. There's a little bit of boogie on this album too, but it's heavy boogie. This is not status quo boogie, right? A little bit different. Bad Motor Scooter, so memorable. Great song. Space Station number 5. How about the riff at the beginning? Again, it's got like a spacey feel, which is kind of cool, but it's definitely heavy. Definitely lots of groove. I Don't Want It. Awesome stuff. Great riff. Shortest song on the album. Just under 3 minutes long. Man, so compact, so good. Over on side 2, you got Good Rockin' Tonight. Again, that's a cover, Roy Brown cover. But, man, it grooves, it rocks. Awesome stuff. This whole album grooves incredibly, which is really cool. Then, of course, you got Rock Candy. Hot, sweet, and sticky. How about that riff, man? Menacing, grueling, grinding. Awesome stuff. A lot of heft to this song. One Thing on My Mind comes up next. Good song. Probably my least favorite song on the album, but still really, really good. And then, of course, you got Make It Last, which finishes off the album. Another excellent song, and the longest song at 5.5 minutes long. Great vocal from Sammy on that. Just that. It's just a really, really tremendous album that I never get tired of hearing. Ever get tired of hearing. It's always good. It always sounds fresh, which is great. And I still, to this day, man, anytime I hear Rock the Nation, Bad Motor Scooter, Space Station number 5, oh, it's like get that like warm fuzz. Like, yeah, there it is, baby, right? All right, let's take a look at charting information. Don't think there is any. Let's see. Yeah, but I know this over time. Let's see here. They did release Rock the Nation, Space Station Number 5, and Bad Motor Scooter, all as singles, all within January, March, and April, fairly soon after each other. But I do believe this has it's not listed here, but I do believe this eventually, yeah, Montrose eventually proved to be an international sleeper hit, selling in excess of 1 million copies and attaining platinum status in 1986. So upon its release, didn't really do much of anything, but over time, platinum here in the States. Some critics have arguably labeled as the first American heavy metal album. Yeah, that's, I would say probably was. And it's just a shame that it didn't gain the popularity at the time of being such a tremendous album. I guess better late than never, but it would have been nice, I think, early on. Because, you read lots of stories about Ronnie Montrose and how he was never kind of satisfied and always wanted to kind of, I got to mix it up, got to do something different. You got to wonder if this album was a big hit out of the gate, if he might have kept this lineup together a little bit longer, right? You had the second album, but already by then the cracks were starting to form. You could read all sorts of stuff about how he didn't like the competition of having such a, big personality as Sammy as a singer, and I don't know, so all sorts of what ifs when it comes to this band. But like I said, the second album has its moments, but nothing compared to this album. And then of course he broke up the lineup and changes came, got some fine stuff that came afterwards, but nothing like this. So yeah, that is my pick for today. Montrose self-titled debut. Yeah, album cover notwithstanding, right? Let us know what you think of the great Montrose debut down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, day 9. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page. And thank you in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you tomorrow for pick number 8. Tune in just a little bit. We've got ranking the albums, of course, every Sunday morning. Jamie Laszlo and myself will be ranking the catalog of the great Canadian doom, folk, occult, psych band Blood Ceremony. It's coming up in just a little bit. You don't want to miss it. And but we'll see you tomorrow morning for pick number 8. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.